Welcome to malware analysis for hedgehogs. So this is the third and last part of alpha ransomware analysis. We will be creating the decryptor today. So let's start with that, right? So in the last two episodes we unpacked alpha, we created a clean version of it. So that's the result we have now. This file right here. If you haven't seen it, just look into the description below. I will put the previous videos in there. So let's open this up in the NSpy, and since this one is a 64-bit file, we need the 64-bit NSpy version. Here it is. So please open up. Yes. And there it is already. Now we renamed the methods in the last video. This is gone because I didn't save it, but we will still be able to do our thing, I guess. Alright. First things first, if you want to create a decryptor, you need test files to run this, right? So you can do everything properly. Now you will realize if you use VirtualBox and run the ransomware, it won't encrypt anything. It will just, do everything else, like setting up a new wallpaper and setting up the run key and ratio, whatever, but it will not encrypt anything. And the very reason is that VirtualBox does not provide a processor ID. So we, in the last video about alpha ransomware, we found out that this method here checks for the processor ID and creates the string out of it. So it somehow derives the key for encrypting everything from using this processor ID. And let's place a breakpoint right here and run this. Okay. Now continue. And when you get here and step a little bit, you will see here it tries to retrieve the processor ID, and at this point it's throwing an exception, and that's where it just doesn't work, right? Let's stop this again. So on VirtualBox you won't be able to encrypt a file like this, so we will have to change the method to make this work. Preferably you will have another VM, like VMware will just work fine if you use that. Then you don't have to change anything. So the good thing is that the NSpy can recompile stuff if you edit a method, like you can say edit method, and just change this so it is working for you. And so let's just do this. I mean, I will just change the whole method to this proc ID. So we imagine having a proc ID in text, and then you get, oh wait, it's calling method 12. Not really, right? Let's just do that. Proc ID, return results. Okay, so we just removed the call to get the process ID and just write the string proc ID right here, and then it will call, I guess, this triple DES or whatever it does with it. Yes, and compile. Conflicts with the imported from alpha main CS. that's missing. Compile. Okay. Yeah. What was that again? Yeah, it does it computes the MD5 hash out of that. So it will do proc ID / proc ID, compute the MD5, and then return the result. So we can use that now, and if we run this, it should work and it should encrypt the file. So let's put some pictures on the desktop so we can decrypt them later. Right. And simply run this. Start. Wait, no. We still have to save the changes we made, right? Otherwise, this won't work. So I rename this to mod for modified. Okay. And now if I start this, I will run the modified version of it. So, and it goes here, and then we should get to this point and just verifying that it works, right? Okay. And we see the text proc ID right here. We get the result, which is the MD5, and we are here. So at this point, it will check if this file exists, create a copy of it, and run it. So since it copies itself, it will also copy the modified version. So we can simply run it and see that things are encrypted. Yes. Yes. So these images have been encrypted. There's now the ransom note here, the wallpaper, and also batch files are encrypted. Interesting. Okay, we got it. Let's check the processes in case they are still running. I would like to remove them. Yes. Yeah, that looks okay. It's not running anymore. And now comes the nice part. We will copy the code here to decrypt one of those files in there. Right, that's one of those files. And yeah, basically make a decryptor for that, though I won't put any effort into building a user interface because, I mean, that's really not our task today. Let's create a new project. Okay. We just do the most simple project, console app, Visual C#. Yes. This is the community version of Visual Studio, which is free. So you can use that. You can also use Mono Develop. I think that was the name, which is also free development environment. So, however, Malware will use the Windows implementation of .NET. So if you use something else like MonoDevelop and Malware is reliant on, let's say, the implementation of any random generating function, it will not work if you use another implementation than the Windows one. So you should rather prefer Visual Studio for certain malware. Yeah. So where are we? Now, that was the method that encrypts the files, right? And we have here the basic. I see. I think we need that. That was I think that was encrypt file, and that one was something like encrypt array. We just rename that to decrypt and change it accordingly. So simply copy and paste. Okay. So we say decrypt array. And that's the array to be decrypted, and those are the key bytes. And we don't want an encryptor, we want a decryptor. So that should be it already. We just have to fix that we also need the imports for cryptographic functions. So let's do that. And it's not complaining anymore, which is great. Now we want to go back there. So we say analyze this. This is used by method 8, and we just need that part. And it takes 2 strings. One is the file and one is the key or password or whatever. So static void decrypt file. Put this in here, and there are several things we need to change. Also, we have string 8 and string 9, and I think let's for now just remove that so we can yeah, we get string 8, string 9. I do want to rename that. That's the file name, and that's the key. Rename key. Okay, we still need that. This will call a method to. This will call decrypt array, right? That was why we renamed that. Okay. And then we say file write all bytes to file name. Yeah, file name. Bytes. And then it. So what we need right now. The original file is the encrypt extension. So we actually want to move that to the new file name. String new file name is file name replace. Replace, and you just replace the extension encrypt with nothing. So we have our file name without the extension that the ransomware adds there, and we want to write that. I think we should move it first and then write the stuff into it, right? Or we could just... No, I think that's alright. That and then new file name, right? Yeah, that's alright. So it will basically it will decrypt it, it will write everything over the old file and then move this to the new location without the encrypt extension, or to the new move means it's a new file name. So okay. We have that. Now we still need the key, right? We would basically, from the main, we would call decrypt file, and we say our example file is, let's check that we have the full path, and we want to decrypt this file, and we say key, and we need the key. right? So derive key, make a function out of it so we can derive it. This will need escape slashes, because the slash is a special, it's used for special characters like new line. So if you actually want to put a slash in there, you have to escape the slash as well. And let's derive the key. So static, that's a string, right? It's a string, so return string, derive key. I think I'm using the wrong conventions for the names, but okay. Derive key. And this is something we will find in here. So method 8 is used by method 9. And this uses the string 9, which it gets from somewhere. Let's check this one. It uses string underscore, which is this method here, which uses string 6 2 times. Okay. So we need this method, which does the triple DES stuff. And it takes 2 strings, triple DES stuff. So, and this is the same string, which is string 6, which isn't initialized right away, but later. So let's analyze that, see where it's assigned. Assigned. Doesn't have a value at the beginning, and it's assigned in form 1 load, which is this method which will return what we need. Okay, so that's the prog ID stuff. MD5 of prog ID string, and let's check this out. It calls this method here, which computes the MD5, right? MD5 stuff. We need to fix the import here. Do we? Actually, we don't need that. I mean, we don't need that at all. Because we do not check the property. So if you are using, or if you want this decryptor to work on an actual machine, you just have to copy this method as it is in its original form, but we just modify it to work on this VirtualBox, which doesn't have a prog ID. Yeah, so this is MD5 stuff. And let's just remove this. Yeah. So, is there anything missing? We need to call this with using this, right? This is being called 2 times, not 2 times, with the same triple DES stuff and string, string prog ID MD5, and that's this, and we call this with prog. MD5 2 times, and it should return the right value. If it doesn't, I have to recheck, but I think that's it. That should be it. Yeah. So let's just test this and run. It's building, now it's running. So, and we should have a decrypted file if we did everything correct. Yes, it worked. So if you just, well, like I said, you would have to use the original function for this MD5 stuff, where it fetches the actual proc ID instead of using this replacement string that we added here for VirtualBox. And then if you just add a proper user interface, then you have your decryptor. And that's it. So we made it. And if you have any questions, put them below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.